So, the term, what is the worst movie you've ever seen, is thrown around quite a bit these days. And to be honest, I thought I found the worst movie that I ever saw in my life last year. Watching Troll 2 was one of the most horrific experiences in my entire life. And I reviewed it, the link's down below in the description if you're interested in watching it. So basically last year, a friend gave me a list of horror films to watch. And to try and review them all for Halloween. Obviously that failed, I was still a starting YouTuber. So the second film on the list was this film, Manos, The Hands of Fate. And I've heard some stuff about this film. I've heard that it's really bad, and I've watched some reviews of it before. I watched Chris Duckman's review, and I watched I Hate Everything Search for the Worst on this particular film as well. So I thought I'd go and check it out for myself. And let me tell you guys now, I lost about 20 brain cells watching this epic piece of garbage. It was absolutely atrocious. Oh my god. So let's dive right into it. So there's this family, and they're going on some kind of vacation, and they're trying to find directions of where to go. So they eventually stumble across this weird-looking sadistic house with some drunk guy at the front. Well, I think he's drunk anyway. But before I get into the story, let me just say that I'm really confused with the tone of this film through the opening scene. It's supposed to be some creepy horror film, but the horror essence and the music choices are just so bizarre. I mean, this is what it sounds like. This theme tune is so bad, it got stuck in my head for hours and end afterwards. It's not like a super catchy song that can get stuck inside your head. It gets stuck inside your head for all the bad reasons. So when the film opens up, I'm already confused with everything. The editing choices, the sound choices, the audio, and just everything. Especially when scenes decide to go on forever and ever and ever, like this. No, I'm telling you now, I didn't edit this. This is actually in the film. Still going on. Still going on. For some reason, this couple just appear throughout the movie at least 2 or 3 times. They just sit there in the car making out, and the coppers keep pulling them over. But the coppers keep letting them off with warnings or something like that, and then the boyfriend just, consists to drive off like some fucking idiot. And the cops don't do anything. These are the worst cops in the history of cops. So anyway, back to the story. The family arrive at this really sadistic looking place, and the guy that greets them at the front door, I'm just going to call him Drunk Guy because I don't really care enough to research his name. And he's like, oh, you can't stay the night, the master will not approve, or some shit like that. And then there's this weird awkward staring sequence where the family just stare at this weird guy for ages, back and forth staring. I mean, why are you looking at each other for so long? So eventually the drunk guy says, alright then, you can stay. The family are like, yay, happy as Larry. The husband acts like a complete dick and he says, hey, we'll go get our luggage then. This is just some random guy in a random house and you're telling him to get your luggage. This isn't some hotel service. Then once they get in the house, this is where the weird stuff really starts to happen. Then something really bizarre happens when the drunk guy eventually does go and get the guy's luggage. He walks like incredibly weird, and then as he stops, the music stops.
Torgler, we'll stay tonight, and then tomorrow...
You must be...
Like, what? Who the hell edited this? It looks like some, YouTuber tried to edit this. I mean, even some YouTube videos are edited better than this. I'm sure that I can edit a movie better than this, and I'm not being big-headed there, I'm generally telling the truth. I really think I can. So then when they walk in the house, there's like constant awkward stares back and forth at the photos of the known master. And the wife's like, oh god, he's horrible. Then stuff starts to get really weird when the characters start to repeat sentences.
Dead? No, madam, not dead the way you know it. He is with us always. Not dead the way you know it. He is with us always.
Oh no, ma'am, he's not dead. Not in the way you know. The master's always with us. Oh no, ma'am, he's not dead. Not in the way you know. The master's always with us. Like, was there a need to say that twice? So a few minutes later, the husband goes to check outside, and then he finds the family dog dead. He starts acting like a dick, telling his wife to go back inside. Then the caretaker decides that he wants to express his strangely undying straight to the point love to the wife. And then you get this really awkward slap sequence, which is absolutely hilarious. Complete slap fail. And, okay, now I'm getting to the point where the editing and how bad it is. I mean, for example, there are scenes that go on forever and ever and ever, like I discussed before. And there's also this editing fail. Like, what even is that? It's like, did someone cover the half the screen up with their hand and decide to leave it in the film? Again, the couple are making out. The coppers come back. They tell him to piss off. The guy drives off like a dick and the coppers do nothing. So I'm 37 minutes into the film at this point and I'm absolutely bored stiff. I don't know how much more I can take of it. It's agonisingly crushing my brain cells and I'm losing more and more focus on life and questioning my place in the world as I go along. It's not long before we're introduced to the master and all of his wives. But what doesn't make sense is all the women are gathering around in some kind of circle to discuss what to do with the family. The same woman, mind you, the same woman says this.
The woman is all we want. The others must die. They all must die. We do not even want the woman.
Okay, so you say that the woman is all you want, and then slightly afterwards, like not even a millisecond later, you go, oh, we do not even want the woman. Like, so do you want the woman or not? This is just weird. Then there's more awkward and pathetic slaps, more stuff that doesn't make sense going on, more boring stuff, more unlikable characters, and this scene just seems to go on forever and ever and ever. Yep, it's still going on. In fact, this scene right here was the hardest to sit through. It's just so bizarre and weird, and you don't even know what's going on. I mean, I'm even running out of things to say about the film already. Eventually, the master decides that he wants to kill the caretaker drunk guy. And then we get this really awkward laugh. Meanwhile, the women are still fighting. Wow, who would have thought? Scenes in this film go on for so long, I had no idea that they'd still be fighting at this point. What's even stranger is that the caretaker knocks out the husband a few minutes prior to this. And even though the husband is getting slapped, he doesn't seem to wake up. Even though he only got tapped on the back really, really gently by a stick. It's not like he got whacked at the back of the head with immense force. It was just a little tap to the back and he falls down. And for some reason, he's just not waking up. Eventually, the caretaker is going to be sacrificed, and this is the master's and the wise idea of how to kill someone, apparently. Yeah, they're just, I don't even know what they're doing. Oh god, is this still going on? There's a really weird thing where the caretaker's hand is burnt off. It's just really bizarre and weird. I don't even know what else to say about this film. Just nothing happens. It's just scenes and a bunch of scenes, like episodic scenes, all shoved together with no exact direction and narrative. No one even knows what's going on. I honestly can't tell you what's happening in this film because I just don't know. The family try to escape eventually, and when the woman falls over and breaks her ankle, kind of, they think of the most perfect idea ever. Oh, let's go back to the very house which we were trying to escape from. Oh, that sounds fantastic. We'll just go straight back there, straight towards the people who were trying to kill us. Points for enthusiasm, points for logic there. Then the strangest thing happens. When the husband gets inside the house, he sort of pulls his gun on the master, and then the film sort of ends, kind of. And now it looks like Michael, the husband, is the new caretaker of this place. So that was the story. But I don't think in my entire life I've seen editing this bad, audio this bad, when the characters speak, their mouths aren't even in motion with the dialogue. Like, what? So overall, Manos, the Hands of Fate is officially the worst movie I have ever seen in my life. It's dethroned Troll 2 by a complete milestone. It is absolutely atrocious. Horrible editing, horrible audio, horrible acting. And it's amazing how this movie even got made. But I suppose you got to appreciate it a little bit because it's gone down in history as probably the worst horror film ever made. And people have made reviews of it constantly, slagging it off, so I don't think anything I'm saying right now someone else hasn't already said. But still, I had to check it out for myself. I had to see it with my own eyes just to see how bad this movie actually was. I don't really need to grade this movie because everyone knows what grade I'm going to give it. And as always, if you want more from me, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more content just like this. Remember, you are awesome. Take care.